To order the Kearney School District Board of Education, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Matt Baker.
Here.
Jason Clint.
Here.
Jake Klingensmith.
Here.
Christina Lindsay.
Here.
Bruce Weitzer.
Here.
Nick Vasquez.
Here.
Arlene Bailey.
Here. You're all here. We have a quorum. Adopted the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. School spotlight. We have got Hawthorne students here tonight. Thank you all for coming.
We're a very disciplined school.
The chair was in front of it. Okay. I think we should put the flag at the corner. What do you think? Flag on that side? What about flag? The one we pledge allegiance to.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hidden
Or there, like,
somewhere, so everybody can come. Yeah.
because they can't see over there.
Well, yeah, I guess somewhere where everybody can see it. It's just hard in this room. So I guess I should send you an email.
Hey, good evening, and I want to thank you on behalf of Hawthorne Elementary for allowing us to come here and spotlight some of our students. So this is part of our second and third grade music program that we just recently had. I want to introduce Michelle Johnston. She's our new music teacher this year, and you guys allowed us to hire someone to come in and teach music in our building because we were sharing with KE before, and that allowed us to have the opportunity to have music programs. And we had a fourth grade Veterans Day program that was a big success, and this was our second set of programs with our second and third grade having music programs, our Christmas programs. So we wanted to share a couple songs, if we could please, to show off our skills a little bit. So I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Johnston.
Matthew, we'll go ahead and have you guys be back this way. All right, perfect. Big smiles. Good. Excellent. Hang on one second. Wonderful. Parent, don't go anywhere. Parents, pictures.
Good job, Ty Baker.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing them. It was good.
Thank you.
You're doing better. Every day.
Better than I did tonight.
At your leisure.
Yeah, Clive was sick, so I didn't get to see that. He didn't go to that. She's done a good job. She does. I mean, like the fourth grade veteran, it was really good. She's done a really good job.
Where did the teacher come from? Where she from?
These are.
Is she right out of college? That's why I was asking if to renew. She's right out of college. Yeah. I think that's good.
Says something about us.
That was cool. Awesome. Did you guys have more questions about those?
Great. I think we should have music every time.
Yes.
That's my opinion.
Yes.
Next, we have no public comment, and then we have our superintendent's report.
Yeah, just a recap of things that have happened this past month. Turkey Trot happened on Thanksgiving Day, and we had over 700 people register to participate in the event. We're so thankful for our event sponsors. Again, those funds go directly to our students and our staff, and it also helps out our cross-country team. On December 6th, we had All-State Band that took place in Columbia. Kearney High School had 3 students to earn honors in the All-State Band auditions. Phoebe Taylor earned All-State Flute. Daisy Burnham, All-State Honorable Mention. Charity Smith, another All-State Honorable Mention. Phoebe will actually get to perform with the All-State Band at the Missouri Music Educators Association Conference on January 31st. So that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Also, on December 6th, we had the Show Me Bowl Championship. held in St. Joseph's at Missouri Western. And congratulations to our Kearney High School varsity football team for winning the 2025 Class 4 championship. The team was undefeated this season, second state championship in 3 years. 11 Bulldogs were honored this week with all-state selections by the Missouri Football Coaches Association. Class 4 Offensive Player of the Year was Carter Temple. Defensive Player of the Year was Isaac Beaver. And Coach of the Year was our very own Logan Minnick. This past Monday, we had the Special Olympics Basketball Jam featuring the Kearney High School boys basketball team and the Special Olympics Dream Team. This is always a great event, and this year was no different. The Dream Team won at a very, very tight game. So this event is a great example of how our community comes together to support all of our students. This holiday, just want to remind you, Giambalvo's Wood Fire Pizza and Pasta in Kearney is offering special pizzas created by our students at Kearney High School Culinary Arts. Teacher Cassidy Robertson's class. There will be a new special pizza every month, so we really appreciate Giambalvo's partnership, creating real-world learning opportunities for our students. And with that, that closes my superintendent's report.
Thank you. Next, we have the consent agenda.
Move that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have, scroll down, information items. First one is the bond project update.
We're happy to answer any questions that you have. Both are two written reports. Mr. Schwinn has updated the numbers on the bond project, as well as Mr. Nolan's provided a written report as we're heading into more deferred maintenance projects.
All right. Next, financials. Mr. Schwinn?
Not a whole lot to add this month, other than things are still tracking to where I still feel confident we will exceed the 20.29% predicted by June. Hopefully we'll be somewhere in the 21, maybe close to 22, but it all depends on SAT coming in at 71.45. Right now we're still being funded at 6,900. So hopefully we get caught up by the end of the year and all will be well. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. All right, thank you.
Next, we have a written report from the library.
Any questions on written report?
Thank you for keeping our librarians. That's not always the case in a lot of school districts around us.
Absolutely.
Several of them have been replaced through attrition and combined, and it's a really important spot. So hopefully that will still be a focus for our district. Appreciate that.
I did notice that was impressive, the amount of like years in education, like just
Yeah.
showed the tenure.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
They're a wonderful group. Thank you. I'll pass that along.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have program evaluation for Parents as Teachers program. Thank you for coming.
Good evening. I'm Amy Baugh. I'm the principal at the Early Education Center. One of the programs housed at our building is Parents as Teachers. These are the people with Parents as Teachers. Brittany King is our program coordinator. She's here this evening. She does a wonderful job. She operates the day-to-day, does all the troubleshooting for the program, and is really the spearhead of it overall. This year, we also are super happy to have 2 part-time employees who are also full-time school district employees. So people with backgrounds in early education and social work that do a wonderful job during their full-time job, and then also come and serve the community in a broader capacity on a part-time basis. We've also added another part-time parent educator this year who has a strong teaching background in kindergarten as well. So we're excited with our strong new team we've developed. There are kind of 2 components to the Parents as Teachers program. The cornerstone is our family personal visits. So one thing that changed a couple of years ago is that we are able to offer an on-site visit space for families who may not participate in the program if it's reliant on us coming into their homes. So while we still try to get into families' homes as often as possible, we also offer an on-site option for the families that better serves. I put kind of the last 3 years' worth of visits at this point in the school year up there. And so and I'll talk a little bit more about kind of how staffing has changed, but kind of the point of this is that we are getting better at more frequently visiting our families in the community and what we want to see. We also have a wait list for the first time since I've been here. So we currently have 11 families on our wait list. We're excited about that. We're excited that the community wants to participate in the program. And so we also are hoping to add that fourth part-time individual to get those families moved off the wait list and continue to visit with good frequency. The other component of our program is the developmental and kindergarten screenings. So historically, parent educators would do both the family visits and the screenings. This year, we've kind of revisited that option so that our parent educators who are with us on a part-time basis are really focused on that family personal visit. They're getting into homes, they're really getting to know the families, work with kiddos on their developmental milestones, things like that. The screenings are being handled now entirely by our coordinator, our parents as teachers coordinator. So that's great because she's full-time, so parents are able to call up to the center, schedule those on demand. So if they need an evening or weekend, if they need during the day, she's able to accommodate that and schedule those screenings for kiddos. So while the number is a little smaller at this point, we're still going to exceed, I'm sure, by the end of the year what we have previously because of the increased availability. But it's a little slower at this moment, mostly because we only have one person doing them, and she's going great guns with it. We also have had a decrease of one child care center in the community. We had one child care center that closed. And one of the things that Brittany's done a great job about is partnering with the area child care centers. So she's going into now every single child care center in the district and doing developmental screenings for those kiddos as well, and providing the families with resources afterward. So last year our goal was kind of financially minded, and while the overall goal of kind of decreasing that gap is still in progress, we are proud of the objectives that we met within there. We did, like I mentioned, redeveloped staffing. So instead of 2 full-time parent educators, we now have 4 part-time, we now have 3 part-time, which increases kind of their availability. We kind of have a mix of people who are working evenings and weekends because they work for the district during the school day. And then we also have people who are more interested in working during the school day. So we've really increased that availability. And like I said, we now have Brittany doing the screenings throughout the year so that those parent educators are really able to focus on those personal visits. And then we've also looked at items that are and are not reimbursable in order to kind of decrease the expenditures. And Brittany's done a wonderful job of networking in the community and then with other coordinators in different area districts. So this year, our goal is to increase parent educator retention. We have a pretty new to PAT staff that we really hope to keep on board. So we're looking at all the different ways we can accomplish that because really, truly, our biggest expenditure is the initial training costs. And so when we have people that come on board, we get them trained, and then they end up not returning to us, then we're paying to retrain the next person. And when that keeps happening, that's a significant expense. So we also just have really good people that we hope stick with us for a while. So we did move that to the part-time basis. They get flat rates based on the job they complete. And then we also have built in kind of an incentive, just like with teachers, where longevity rewards you, and the more years you stay, the more you earn. We do have an increase for those annually for the first 3 years to kind of build that buy-in when the years are the hardest. Your first time going through a new job can be tough, so we're hoping that encourages folks to stick with us longer term. And then more frequent staff meetings, mentoring. Brittany's going into visits more and observing and providing feedback and things like that, just to be able to respond to their concerns more quickly. And then this is just to close out, we annually have our holiday celebration, and that's a partnership among all the programs at the Early Education Center, but it's really hosted by parents as teachers as a community connection event. We had all sorts of activities for the whole family. Kids had a great time. My kids came. I've got a 12 and a 7. They both loved it, so that's hard to accomplish. My 12-year-old wouldn't admit that, so. But it was great. And we added a food truck this year so families could come in, enjoy all the activities, and then just grab dinner on their way home. We had over 350 people total attend, which was a little more than 90 families total, which is our best turnout. We also learned that it was hosted the same night as 2 child care centers that also had a Santa family event. So we were thrilled with the turnout. We're excited about next year. We've never encouraged donations previously, but this year we just said if you can and want to, that we would take donations to our new Bitty Bulldog clothing closet at our building that services ages birth to 5. We ended up with a mountain of donations from these families. It was just the coolest thing to see. I mean, we'd pulled out like a cart to roll back, and it was just overflowing. We had to make multiple cart trips. Our closet is well stocked. So we're very excited at all the partnerships happening between parents as teachers and the Kearney community. Thank you for your time. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have the survey results, right?
Good evening, Board, and thank you for the opportunity to share highlights from Kearney School District's 2025 annual survey. Our goal with this survey is simple. Listen carefully to our stakeholders, look for trends over time, and use that input to guide continuous improvement. Where the data is available, I also included historical comparisons going back to 2022 that we can start to see some long-term trends and not just one-year snapshots. I have a long way to go and a short time to get there, so I'll move efficiently through the key findings and then pause for questions at the end. This year's survey, let's see. This year's survey was administered through Qualtrics from October 1st through October 22nd. We received 1,882 total responses, which is about 1,100 fewer than last year. The biggest reason for that drop was student participation. We had 713 student responses this year. Even with that reduction, those responses provided a 95% margin of error of plus or minus 3.3 percentage points, which is still solid by industry standards. Next year, I'll work with principals to increase student participation so that we are including their voices as much as possible. One positive note, we also saw a significant increase in community member participation, which was one of my main goals this year. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to weigh in. At the highest level, the story is positive. Perceptions of KSD remain strong. The overall Likert score average is 4.03 on a 5-point scale. When you break it down, we see strong confidence among all stakeholder groups, with students a bit lower, which is consistent with what we often see in school climate data and gives us a clear reason to keep focusing on belonging, engagement, and student voice. Next, we asked whether stakeholders believe KSD provides an excellent educational experience. Overall, 86% of the respondents selected one of the top 2 responses. Breaking that down a bit, 90% of parents and guardians and staff agree that we're providing excellent educational experiences, as do 81% of students. So again, these are strong results. They are also a reminder that we should keep paying attention to how students experience school day to day. We also asked parents, guardians, and staff whether KSD uses our resources effectively. This year, the top 2 result is 66%. When you look at the historical trend included in the slide, we've moved upward over time from 55% in 2022. It's not a straight line, but the broader trend is encouraging and points to growing confidence in how we are stewarding our resources. This slide captures student culture and climate ratings over the past 2 years. What stands out is that each of these measures improved. The Likert score for I am proud to attend my school increased by 4%. I feel cared for and supported increased 5%. I am treated with dignity and respect increased 4%, and the Likert score for my school includes students and decision-making increased 6%. All of those increases exceed the margin of error. That is meaningful. That is a meaningful set of gains that align with our broader focus on building relationships, improving our culture, and facilitating student voice. Belonging and acceptance are among the measures we watch most closely, again in alignment with our strategic priorities. This year's average is 4.02, which is the, excuse me, the highest point in the historical comparison shown here, up from 3.85 in 2022. That doesn't mean the work is finished, but it's a strong indicator that our culture building efforts are having a positive impact for students. We also asked students which areas KSD should prioritize. The top 5 selections were safety and security, college and career prep, having at least one trusted adult at school, having fun and engaging classes, and having great teachers and support staff. To me, this is a clear roadmap from students. Keep focusing on safety, keep building adult connections, and keep pushing engaging and relevant classroom experiences. For parents and guardians and staff, the highest rated culture and climate characteristics remain very strong, and several have improved year over year, including well-qualified teachers and staff, which increased from 4.38 to 4.42, safe and secure environment, which increased, and positive reputation, which also saw an increase. 2 areas were essentially stable, with small shifts, high-quality principals, and having a caring learning environment. Overall, this continues to affirm that we are what we hear anecdotally, which is strong confidence in our team and in our school culture and climate. When parents, guardians, and staff were asked what KSD should prioritize, the top themes were safe and secure learning environment, well-qualified teachers and staff, competitive staff compensation, teaching students dignity and respect, helping students become good citizens and employees, and creating a caring learning environment. The presence of compensation in the top priorities provides some important context as we look at the need to bolster our staff recruitment and retention efforts. Even if you pull staff responses from that list, from that list, compensation still lands in 7th place overall. So if we look at slide 7, this next slide, this slide highlights 3 measures that align with DESE's MSIP 6 expectations. So we are required to ask these questions. Positive classroom learning environments, which is at 4.21, Likert score, student voices heard and respected, 3.91, and providing culture and climate data to stakeholders, 3.64. All of these Likert scores have increased significantly since 2022. The opportunity here is clear. While people generally feel positive about classrooms and student voice, stakeholders also want us to continue improving in how we share climate and culture information and communicate progress over time. Work-life balance remains a very important factor for us. You can see it's very stable. The stability is good. It's also a reminder that the work environment matters, especially given the staffing pressures that we and all public schools face. We asked staff to rank benefits by importance. 1 is the most important, 7 is the least important. You can see the results. Salary and compensation is the most important, followed by health insurance, and then very closely after that is workplace culture and climate, and then PTO vacation is in 4th place. So when we talk about employee support, this gives us a very clear top 3 that our team can work on as we address those needs. Finally, we looked at communications and engagement, obviously very near and dear to my heart. The averages shown here include keeping students informed, 4.01, overall communications, 3.82, and public engagement, 3.74. The takeaway is we're doing relatively well keeping students informed, and we have room to strengthen broader engagement, especially by making it easier for families and community members to find information, stay connected, and feel heard. So this is a very high-level summary of the key results from this year's survey. It's not enough to listen. We also have to learn. To that end, district and school leaders have access to detailed dashboards in Qualtrics and are using that data to help drive improvements. In addition, I have provided those administrators with an analysis of the feedback from the survey's open-ended questions. I have also provided you all with a deeper level executive report. A public report will be posted tomorrow at ksdr1.net/annual survey. Thank you again to everyone in the community who participated, and thank you all to the board. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'm happy to take questions.
Ray, any idea why the student participation was so much lower?
I think that really just comes down to coordination, which I take responsibility for, making sure that we get ahead of it and that we're coordinating with school leaders to make sure that they have the opportunity to coordinate with staff, in terms of giving time for students to do that. So it is an optional survey. Yep. So, students have that choice, but I think next year we just need to make sure that we're giving schools plenty of time to coordinate, when those students have that opportunity. So
I think in previous years, it was a little more scheduled, so it was a little bit less optional. So.
And I may have missed it. What grades do we send it to?
You may have missed it because I might not have included it. So this would be 3rd grade through 12th grade.
Thank you.
Can you share, as you've kind of looked through the data, what are the themes of the resources being used effectively or not effectively? That seems to be kind of one of the lower scores that we had. I'm just curious.
Yeah, let me follow up with you on that in terms of
Sure.
diving into some of the prompts the open-ended prompts,
Sure.
and I can
Curious
take a
to know
look
kind
at
of
what that
looks
what
like.
that would suggest and follow up. Mhm. Yep.
I think it's also important for us to share with you what percentage was in neutral as well as disagree and strongly disagree. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Gonna be here? No.
No.
Okay, so let's go.
There's no change in the audit.
Next, we have the audit report.
Move to approve the audit report for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as presented by Westbrook & Co. at the November 19th, 2025 board meeting.
Second?
There is no change to the audit report from what was presented last month. We just received final guidance from the federal government, OMB compliance supplements, and so this is here before you tonight for approval.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the 26-27 academic calendar.
Move to approve the 2026-2027 academic calendar as presented.
Second?
So the draft presented to you all this evening contains 172 student days, 182 teacher contract days, 1,107.5 instructional hours. And so this calendar allows us to meet DESE's minimum requirements of 1,044 hours. And it also provides enough instructional hours that protects us from needing to make up school to make up if we would have inclement weather in the future. There are 2 additional student days added to this calendar. We have 170 this year. This next year will be 172. And those would come from the Monday and Tuesday before the Thanksgiving break. Those will actually go back to student contact days again, school days. Any questions about the calendar draft?
Was there?
Did people not like that?
No, I think it was well received. I think it's about half and half. I think some people really liked it. I think some people didn't. We had the calendar committee sent out surveys and inquired with their building leadership teams, and I think it was well received. But there were other options where we could get those 2 days from, like PD in the second semester, starting on a Monday at the first day of school. And I think this was the lesser of the evils that we needed to get the 2 extra kid days.
Makes sense.
It feels like it starts and ends later to me. Am I imagining that?
That's the way the calendar fell.
Just the way the calendar falls?
Yep.
When you say no snow days, are we away from the AMI days as well then?
This will enable us this calendar will keep us from having to use AMI.
Okay.
This year, it depends on how many inclement weather days we have, because we didn't meet the 1104 requirement.
Okay.
So next year then will teachers still work on snow days or not?
It'll still be a contract day.
It's contracted day. Okay.
Kids will have the day off.
All righty. Ready to vote? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the approval of additional positions.
Move to approve the extra duty positions for concessions management as presented.
Second?
So we've talked about this. I've sent this in board updates quite a bit. This has been an interesting position, or interesting problem to solve. Thank Lincoln, our athletic, our activities director, for helping me with this. But there's been turnover in our athletics office when it comes to our admin assistants, and the folks that have left us have cited this as being a big reason why they're not working in that position, because all of the concession management, which Clay County requires anybody that's selling food to have a concession manager's license. So those aren't easy to come by. Well, you can get them easily, but not many people get them. And so most of the concessions, which we have over 100 events that require concessions management throughout the year, fill in the admin assistant in the activities office. So they were working 60, 70, sometimes 80-hour weeks because of the amount of activities that we have at the high school. And so I decided to propose to create two separate positions that charge for inventory, but also operate the concessions, the schedule people to work the gates and the concessions too. Only one person has to be there that has the concession manager's license. If they have that, then anyone else can just work that we want to put in that position. And so the money, the stipends, we're asking for $5,000 stipend come out of the concessions revenue, which is where we already pay our workers. This will just provide a more consistent structure. I don't believe it's going to cost any more money. We're already paying someone to do that. This just gives it to a couple people that this is their charge. And also the activities admin assistant will also have a bit of the plan is to split those 100 events up in thirds between the three people that would run that. But like I said, we're already paying concessions. If we couldn't, it would be the activities director, admin assistant. So this should be revenue and expenditure neutral moving forward. Just provides a better structure and some support for the activities office.
So this is money that comes out of the concession revenue, so it's being paid for out of that. It's a stipend for two folks to extra duties. Ideally, who would that be? Is that somebody that's current on staff that will pick those up as stipends? Could that theoretically be someone else?
Appreciate your question. It could be someone on staff, but it could also be a community member. We've had community members reach out to ask if they could help with concessions, so it could easily be one of those two.
Okay.
Yep. Great question. Any other questions?
All right. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. The roof bids.
Move to approve the bids for roof restoration and replacement at Kearney High School, including the purchase of materials from Garland as presented.
Second?
Good evening, everyone. This is a continuation of our roofing deferred maintenance package. It is 9 sections on the high school roof, plus the field house, which is the locker room for softball and football. It was originally part of our deferred maintenance roofing package. This we put on hold as we moved through some increases in the roofing on the first go-around. This was bid out by Garland. We would continue using Garland products to ensure our warranty and consistency through the district. We had 5 bidders come for pre-bid walks, and 4 ended up putting bids in. And so we would be asking for just approval of the bid package itself, which includes Garland roofing materials and the labor provided by Kerberg Roofing, who had worked previously in the district.
Eric, and I could be wrong about this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it mentions the field house as a part of the roof that it needs to be redone. It strikes me that that is not that old. If we're talking about the new one, we're talking about the
No.
old one.
So we're talking about, when I guess, referring to this field house, we're talking about the softball, football locker room
Okay.
roof.
It's a different type of field house.
Yes.
Are these funds part of the bond still?
Yes, funded fully by the 2022 bond, yes.
Other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Next, the over $50,000 payment to music.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Move to approve the
Trying to
agreement
read
with
that.
Kerberg Roofing as presented.
So officially, Darlene, yes, that was part of the item that we just discussed. This is just to formally approve the signing of a contract to sign on with Kerberg to provide the labor on the high school project.
When will they start this?
So the high school itself is stipulated for the day after the last day of school, and with the assumption that they could start on the field house portion in May, once we get through possibly hosting a final track meet or whatever. So if nobody's out there during the day, it became an attractive piece for a company to come in and not have to wait until the end of May and June to get started on a good project. So
Okay. And they look to be able to finish the high school within the summer? Knock on wood.
I hate to say yes, but that's the idea, yes. Mhm.
All right. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Okay. We're done with Kerberg. So now we have the over $50,000 payment to music.
Move to approve the over $50,000 payment to music as presented.
Second?
Okay, so obviously asking for approval of an over $50,000 payment. This would be our school district insurance, including property liability, cyber, workers' comp, and in the amount of $1,028,939, which is an increase of 16%, which is 144,878 more than last year. Some of those increases, we have added square footage with our additions. We've added payroll, and that essentially accounts for about 37,000 of that increase. The statewide increase for all music people was in the range of, for us, is 36,000, just a straight increase for their rates. And then workers' comp accounts for the other $74,000 of our increase, which partially we do have some workers' comp claims, but they figure the mod factor on a 5-year average, and they said this was not a overly unique situation because everybody is rolling off the COVID years on their 5-year rotation, where we weren't in school and we had a lot less incidences for workers' comp. And so those years are rolling off, which really bring us back to sort of what it would normally be. So that's accounting for some of our workers' comp increases. We are in the process of talking through with music if there's things that we can do to decrease our premium, as well as what we can do to improve our mod rate for figuring workers' comp. Questions?
It seems like a pretty substantial increase, just, and maybe this is, Doug, if this is directed for you, is this something that we foresaw and accounted for in the budget, or is this going to be kind of an outlier that we'll need to plan around and adjust for as we finish out the year?
Yeah, I did happen to go back and look and see what Ginger had budgeted for insurance, and she did increase that number pretty significantly. So I think we're okay budget-wise, that this number falls within that range, but obviously it's a lot higher number than we would have hoped for, but there's no way to predict that back in June.
Yeah.
And I will say, I appreciate both Doug and Eric making effort to pick up the phone and have conversations with music and dig into some of the numbers and try to get some of the history. We've seen some increases over the last 2 or 3 years that have been pretty steep. And again, trying to look for strategies on how to reduce that.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it went up pretty significantly last year as well.
It did. It did.
Well, and that was my, I guess, hopefully I'm remembering it right. I wasn't on this board a year ago, but I do remember that when you were discussing this, they talked about, was there an opportunity to go out and get another bid for this?
Talk about that.
Is that something, I mean, competition is typically something that helps here. 37,000 of it is our own fault, it sounds like, but 108 of it is not. So is there an opportunity for competition to get a second bid on these in the future? If not today, is there? You guys are strategizing your answer, so I'll wait. But
Yes, the answer is yes. You can go out and you can shop it independently. If we decide to leave music, I think that they have 94% of public institutions, and if we do leave them, they won't let you back in for a period of 5 years. And
but we're not making a decision to leave them. We'd be making a decision to get bids. And then it would depend on what those bids came back to figure out whether that made sense or not.
Yep. The opportunity is there, yes.
94% of that.
Oh, I agree with that. There's two reasons. Part of it is just the institutional kind of, it continues on. I think every now and again, I think you ought to check and just make sure you're getting your best deal. So I'd love to see, as you guys approach this next year, I'd love to see us at least get an opportunity to understand, should we put it out for bid? And if so, would there be anybody that would bid? What would that look like? But we're not going to be able to sustain these types of increases. And so competition, if there's no competition, you will continue to get these types of increases. So I think we should take a look at it.
Doug, did you mention earlier today that we still have the ability, even with this payment, to look at reviewing and revising policy?
Yes. One of the things they were looking at is a $50,000 deductible, which can possibly pull down our premium. So although tonight we're asking you to approve this package, that doesn't prohibit us from continuing to talk and try to get the number down or find something better that'll save us some money. So we haven't given up on this. This is pretty much worst case scenario right now, but we're hoping we can bring back some additional savings here in the near future.
Just so I have a full understanding, it's just, so music, is this like a one-stop provider compared to if we did it ourselves, we'd have to manage dozens of policies? Is that basically why we go through music, because they specialize in this and there's no one else that does that, or?
I think the reason why we do music is everybody does music. With 94% participation, it's just easier to be part of a pool. I mean, theoretically, the more that's in the pool, the better the rates everybody's going to get.
And they have an understanding of school districts and the risks
They do.
that apply to it as well. Is that correct, too?
Correct. Yeah.
We completely agree with all points, just I also agree with the points on the other side of if they come back again next year and raise it another $100-something thousand because they can, yeah, we're gonna be not in a position to keep doing it.
Is there a way to see what we paid over the last 3 years, 4 years?
Oh, yeah. I've got all that information in a spreadsheet. Happy to share that.
I think that would be nice, just to see what annually the increase rate's been.
Would you include the payouts as well? Can you see what our claims have been?
We've been grabbing all that, yes. I'll be happy to put that in the next board update, because I asked for 10 years' worth of history trying to go back and see, and I've got 10 years' worth of premium, so I can show you both sides. Yep.
Is this pretty well the trend?
Yeah, I mean, everything's going up, so it's not surprising that we're getting this increase. On the Kansas side, I was part of a July 1 renewal, and it was up 20%, close to 20% too. So it's on both sides. It's pretty much industry-wide. Somewhere it's got to stop. I don't know where, but it's not been pleasant. So.
What's the notice that they give us from when they send us our renewal to when we actually have to make a decision?
Just over a month.
Just
And that's probably something we can try to work on and push them a little bit to get better news a little. So we're not taking it to you and then going, well, we're going to try to go back and maybe get a better rate. Hopefully we can bring to you a final number when it's time to approve it. So I'm not real optimistic that this number's going to move any. Just want to let you know we're going to still ask questions and see if there is any movement possible.
All righty, any other questions? Ready to vote? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the agreement with Marzano Research.
Move to approve the agreement with Marzano Research as presented.
Second?
Yes, so this is a continuation of working with Marzano Research to have our assessment, our interim assessment data dashboard interactive to the public. It's linked on our website, so this is a continuation. The only difference is that instead of it being free of charge, it's now $1,500 per year cost. Really, it helps show all of our growth in real time, so our students who take NWEA in the beginning of the year and then in the middle of the year, that data changes, so a parent or a community member can go in and filter the information to see growth and academic readiness. So, questions?
Are we able to see how it's being used by the public, the interaction?
That's a great question. I can ask to see if we can get that data tracked.
I'm just curious if,
Yeah.
you know, how many people are actually.
Might be something that I can start with Ray to see if that it gets tracked at all by our new website platform.
If not, maybe it's something that we can produce internally. Maybe we could use students to program that and put it on.
It'd be nice.
Again, to Nick's point, depending on how many people are using it, if we wanted to keep doing it, it'd be great if our students could do it. It's not a huge amount of money, but it's also money.
Understood. Yep.
Well,
Part of that
to
is
me, it's
also,
more if it's valuable, it's working, and it's really a way for us to create some more transparency.
Sure.
All for it. If it just looks good and people aren't using it, let's find something else.
And maybe we need to send more updated information to the public so they know it's there, right?
Yeah.
but part of it, it's also being part of the Success Ready Student Network. And so as they're looking at that pilot group, all that data is there, which I think is also helpful when they take that back to the state to determine whether what we're doing is effective or not.
Yeah, it's oversight, yes.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Board member comments? Anybody have anything for the good of the cause?
The football game was fun.
Football game was fun.
The community really showed up. I have to say I appreciate what that program has done with those boys in the high school and their willingness after the game to take pictures with the young kids, whether it was the girls in the little cheerleader outfits or the young athletes as well, that those boys are respected in our community and they show respect to our community. So I think that that's great. Congratulations. It was a really fun season to watch them.
And I will just add, Dr. Miller mentioned the Special Olympics event on Monday night. I had not had the opportunity to be at that before, and that was great. And again, a great display of our kids supporting each other, and the community folks that came out for that event was really, really good. And I would encourage anybody that has not been to that event to try to go sometime, because it's very, and I know we have staff members who put a lot of time and effort into that. So, thank you.
It was amazing.
That and in the spring, what's in the spring? Is that the track?
Track meet?
Track meet in the
Yes.
spring, yeah.
Very good. All right, important dates. December 19th, half a day. That's a day and a half away, right? December 22nd to January 2nd, winter break. The district offices are closed, except for December 30th, which is the last day for candidate filing from 1 to 5 p.m. January 5th is a professional development day, no students. January 6th, we start spring semester or third quarter or whatever. We start back after Christmas, I guess. There we go. Classes resume. January 21st is our fall student recognitions prior to our board meeting. We will bring everybody together for a great celebration of all of our fall activities. So, and our next board meeting is January 21st.
Action for closed session to immediately precede the regular meeting in January, including any record or vote to discuss items and issues allowable under Section 610-021 of the Missouri Sunshine Law.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Matt Baker,
Yes.
Jason Cliff,
Aye.
Jake Klingsmith,
Yes.
Christina Lindsay,
Yes.
Bree Switzer,
Yes.
Nick Vaskus,
Yes.
Darlene Bailey.
Yes. We're adjourned.